I'm joined by head coach Melvin Felix from Eastern Mennonite University men's basketball. They were picking a tie for 11 in this year's ODAC men's basketball preseason poll. Coach, first year as the head man at Eastern Mennonite, but certainly no stranger to EMU, having been a lead assistant for Kirby Dean for several years. Talk a little bit about the transition from going from one of the side chairs to the man in charge now.
I think so far, it's been different, but it's been good. We had a lot of guys coming back, so for me, having an assistant be their head coach now, for them, it's been an easier transition. Obviously, the hard part has been adjusting to some of the stuff that I didn't have to do, as an assistant. The budget or scheduling games. So there are certain things I did not have to mess with, but now I have to, and that's okay. The other thing that I tell people all the time is when I was an assistant, when I went home, I never had to worry too much about my phone going off. Now my phone is on constant ring, it's going off for whatever reason it may be. So now I have to make sure that my phone is always on ring, not on silent when I'm at home.
One of the things we have to look at is that it's a little bit different scenario where some of the other new head coaches we've had in the league have come from other programs. Mm-hmm. You're coming from a spot that's been well established. You've been part of that culture. But what are some of the changes that we're going to see that, maybe not just culture itself behind the scenes, but on the floor? Is anything going to change with the way that the guys play?
I think this year we're in a not difficult situation, but we return a team that is not like any other team we've had. In the past, we've always had 4 to 5 to 6 maybe really good three-point shooters that can help us, spread the floor a little bit. We graduated 4 of those guys last year, and we have a main core coming back of post players, which in the past we just haven't had that. It's been normally mostly guard-oriented, and then we'll have 2 or 3 post guys that are younger. So it kind of flip-flop. So we're going to have to do a couple things differently. But our style of trying to push tempo and trying to press teams and trying to speed them up every once in a while, that's still going to be a part of it. That's just running Royals basketball. But obviously with a new coach and like I said before, with changing kind of the guys coming back, there's going to be some changes.
Let's take a look at your roster a little bit. Who do you expect to be your leaders from your returning roster this year? But also in the same sense, are there any new guys that are going to step up and make some names for themselves?
I think our returners, the big 2 guys for us will be Sammy Thomas and Travis Clower. Sammy Thomas was our starting center most of the year. He's battled a couple injuries here and there from his freshman to senior year, but he's come a long ways. So I'm really looking forward for him to have a solid senior year. And Travis was our best three-point shooter last year, and he didn't even start. He started, I think, 9 games if I'm not mistaken. So he's really looking forward to being more aggressive this year and kind of taking more of a leadership role as of last year, where he was more of a role player. This year, we really need him to step up. So for our young guys, we have a nice little group of guys, and they're working super, super hard. They're all competing for playing time. At this point, it's kind of hard to really tell who's gonna take on a major role, but they're all super competitive. They're all competing with our upperclassmen, and I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of them play. At this point, it's just really hard to tell.
Let's take a look at the league to kind of finish things up here. And we can take a track with you a lot similar to that I can take with Coach Sanborn from Ferrum, is that you recently have played in the ODAC. You played at a time when the league was getting 4 teams in twice in a 4-year period, multiple teams in each year. So that's where I think the numbers were something like 12 or 14 teams over 5 years. They got to the NCAA tournament. Now, a little bit different that we're seeing. It's been a while since the ODAC got 2 teams in, but is that a function of everybody in the league improving so that the bottom has come up? And what have you seen are the differences in the ODAC?
I think you're exactly right. I think that's exactly what happened. When I was playing, you had 4 teams that were really, really good. Now 8 through 12, they were still competitive with each other, but at times it was hard for those teams to beat the 1 through 4. Now, I think it's like the Wild Wild West. You have 1 through 13 now with Ferrum coming in, where it's, if you don't show up on a given night, you can get beat, no matter if you're the 1 seed, the 2 seed, 3 seed, or 4 seed. It doesn't matter. It's just it's everybody's kind of even out, and the competitive level and intensity's going up. So I think it's a good thing for the league because everybody has to shine, but at the same time, it's hurt our chances, obviously, to get more teams into the NCAA because we just beat each other up.
Coach, I want to thank you for joining me today. Good luck this season.
Thank you very much.